Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you, my
good friend. I feel charged. I feel revitalized. I think Memorial Day took a lot more out of me than I thought it did. So yesterday I apologized.
Up late?
I was just up late. Like I necessarily wasn't out. Oh, congratulations to the pregnant woman.
Very
right
good,
there.
very good.
It's not necessarily that I was out partying. I just was up late. Like I've started since the show. I used to be a guy that stayed up till 3, 4 in the morning because I necessarily didn't have obligations. 3, 4, 5, 6 in the morning, but then I could sleep all afternoon, all day. Now I'm a working man. I'm sleep by 9, sleep by 10, unless there's a really good NHL game like we will get into. I don't want to tell too much, but I think I was up just hanging out watching Stranger Things. It was back on Netflix.
My wife watches that.
I do. Well, I'm not your wife, but I watch it too.
My kids watch it.
I'm not your kids, and I watch it too. No, but it was just fun. Just up watching TV and having conversations, man. Talking to Noodles like it. Just up, man.
There you go. Sometimes you just stay up for whatever reason. A man who stays up all the time stayed up late for bowling last night over there at the Harbor Lanes. Good video by you, Tom Mazawey. Good afternoon.
What up, my man? What up, Bray? It's good to have Braylon back 100% today.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yesterday he had the hat down low. You could tell he was a little down.
Yep.
Not down, but a little gassed.
Yeah.
He's back.
I've been there.
He's back. We're all good gassed,
you.
especially you, man. You're working hard, man.
Hey, Maz, couldn't get a 10-pin to save your life last night, huh?
Could not, man. It cost me. I hate it. Nothing bothers me more when I miss a spare.
How about the gummy bears?
Gummy bears are delicious. I wish I could eat them right now.
Sorry, I'm
okay.
actually I'm currently eating them.
You try to get every spare?
Oh God, yeah. Spares win. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Spares win.
It's just like golf. It's called having a clean card.
Yeah,
if you can stay clean, like in golf, if you can stay clean, you have a chance at winning any major. In bowling, if you stay clean, you have a chance of winning.
It's
any
so
game.
great.
At least it's a 190. At least if you make your spares.
I really want to come watch you bowl one night because I just find it fascinating. I try to throw that bowling ball whenever I do bowl as hard as I can down that lane.
You throw your back out.
Oh man, my shoulder. You wake up at 3 in the morning, you're like,
it's about
man.
It's a fun time.
It's funny you say that, and I love it because like basketball, like NBA players, NFL players, all we do is bowl in the off season. Like we bowl, we have leagues, we party. That's how you stay out of trouble.
That's right.
At least that's in Cleveland. That's what it was. You see all your brothers that are D linemen, that are the Aiden Hutchinsons and the big babies, Sean Big Baby and the Vince Wilforks, and even just big linebackers and whatever. Like they want to throw that ball as hard as you can. And you realize in that sport, it's about the smoothness, it's about the oil, it's about the finesse. Getting my ball down there, letting it go left to right and back to left. It's very sexy. It's like a dance almost with the bowling ball and the lane.
I was enjoying it, watching the hockey game. I made sure the hockey game's right there on my lane. And, I had the over last night just for a few bucks. And it was over in the second period. Like about 5 minutes into the second period, the over was already had.
There you go.
That's good. And we'll talk about that hockey game in just a moment. But did you guys hear about the big breaking news that just happened
Johnny Depp?
Moments ago? And that is right. A verdict has been reached in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. This is going to be announced live at 3 o'clock today. We will have that verdict for you, whatever it is. But this has been one of the most bizarre trials. 58-year-old Johnny Depp sued Amber Heard $50 million for defamation. And Heard, who's 36, countersued him for $100 million. I mean, this has been one of the most bizarre trials you have ever heard in your life. I mean, for a couple of different... One, I mean, Amber Heard farting on the stand. Two, talking about defecating in his bed.
And she almost looked like she did a little bit of cocaine.
Right. It looked... There's a TikTok...
She does like a long arm sniff
of her doing like grabbing her Kleenex and like doing a little whiff in the Kleenex, which gives the appearance
she was hiding
like
something
she's
in the
hitting that
Kleenex.
whiff. You know,
I got a feeling that these guys are going to be screwing right after this trial. I really do believe that.
Or screwing each other's lawyers or something.
No. What
There's going to be a lot of screwing going on.
The only person that's not going to get screwed is Johnny Depp. And we talked about this off air, I've never seen a case, especially as it relates to a man and a woman, some level of harassment or violence or whatever you want to say, and have so many people cheer for one side. And I'm talking about people coming out of the woodworks to support Johnny Depp, and then Amber Heard making herself look dumber and dumber and dumber throughout the case of the trial. Johnny Depp's going to come out ahead because this is why. One, he won the $50 million defamation lawsuit. Her lawyers are going to have to pay for his lawyers. I mean, she's going to have to pay for his lawyers. And now she countersued with $100 million. She's going to lose, and once again, she is going to have to pay for his attorneys.
Will you be shocked if she wins?
If she wins, I'll quit watching. I will quit watching like TV and anything else.
Look, don't bet against it.
So the guys in the back are enthralled with this trial here, the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. At one point, in one of the things on YouTube,
especially Easy.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, him and Justin. Yeah. But one of the things on YouTube that is a blessing and a curse is you can see how many people are watching you live every second of the day. And then obviously once you go off the air, then, you know, a lot of people watch it at their own pace. You know, you might have a couple hundred people watching you live and then a couple of thousand people watch after the case. That's the benefit of YouTube. I went in the back last week and Justin said, how many people, the trial was on YouTube. Says, how many people do you think are watching this? Now, Pat McAfee, pretty popular guy, he'll get like 25,000.
Except when A-Rod was on.
Except when Aaron Rodgers was on, I'll get like 100,000. Yeah. Right? I mean, big number. I said 50,000. 976,000 people were watching this trial live. And that to me is
I was one of them.
Yeah, on YouTube. That's just one source of it.
You remember the OJ trial?
Oh, God.
I mean, look how many channels were birthed from that channel.
CNN?
Yeah, CNN. No, Court TV.
Right, Court TV, right. CNN, I guess, was
MSNBC.
Yeah. But careers were made.
Of course.
I mean, Jeffrey Toobin, Greta Van Susteren. All careers made.
All Red was in there somewhere. Yeah, but the difference with that was you're looking at a polarizing subject matter that has plagued the U.S. since the U.S. came into existence, and that's racism. You know what I'm saying? That's black and white, the pointing of the finger. Like, this is crazy because it's just like this is like the new wave. This is like the TMZ wave. Yeah. This is like what TMZ has created, this court case, and the volume of followers and listeners and watchers that this the case has.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. You know, and it's just like Johnny Depp reminds me of a guy like so many people, they just can't get out of their own way too. You know what I mean? Like so many guys, they just can't get out of their own way. Like me, all of us. You know, it's so funny the way we do these things. I'm on this text string with some of our friends who our kids go to school together, and we've all become really good friends. We have a text thread, and we're just going back and forth. And some of the guys, we say the funniest things, and I don't know where I'm going with it, other than to say that, man, sometimes we cannot in that text message. Cannot get out of our own way sometimes.
We cannot.
But we are net positives, for lack of a better way to say it. Deshaun Watson, that is trending as well. Looking up, speaking of a guy that can't get out of his own way, man, 23 lawsuits
going
now
on
against
24.
Deshaun Watson. A new one came out last night, and then
because
another
of the
one
Real
will come out
Sports
today.
episode.
Yeah.
That's why they watched this Real Sports episode last week, and now 2 more have come out.
So I have something to say about that when we talk about today. I will just let you know now that I may have changed my tune.
I'm going to tell you, we're going to talk about this coming up, Braylon, and we'll get to that momentarily. But there is so much going on today. Dan Orlovsky, quarterbacks you win because of and quarterbacks you win games with. That is an impressive topic.
Where's our guy?
Well, that is one of the areas that we're going to discuss too. And you know, again, everybody can make fun of me and you, and not so much you. You were not on this bandwagon, but you know, calling for Malik Willis, and maybe Malik Willis wasn't the guy, but you know, when your quarterback is not mentioned in a top 20 and a top 25 list, when he's not mentioned in a guy that you win because of for so many different reasons, you got to start looking towards a replacement, and we'll get to that list coming up in a little bit.
I think what also is happening as it relates to the quarterback situations, what you're going to find more and more, and I've always said this, and obviously I was young, you know, and then I played, and then it was, you're biased, but now more and more you're starting to see it. I think quarterbacks were overvalued a little bit too much. I think quarterbacks are overvalued a little too much. Wide receivers weren't getting enough attention. Tight ends weren't giving enough credit. Running backs weren't giving enough credit. Linemen weren't getting enough credit. And I think more and more you're starting to see this. You may not need that Josh Allen. And we can talk about that too. You may not need that Josh Allen to win the Super Bowl. If you put that structure in place, we'll talk about it. I don't want to spill too much. I will tease it, but I think you'll see. The Lions may be okay.
And Maz mentioned the hockey game last night. I loved it.
Oh, man.
8-6 game. It was 7-3 Colorado.
13
you're thinking it was,
different scores.
I mean, you're thinking that game is over at 7-3. Then it becomes 7-6. Edmonton did it, and they did it against Calgary, too. I think it was 6-2 at one point.
Yep.
Edmonton and Calgary played a game, and Edmonton actually tied that game up, I believe, at 6.
I want to say.
So they did not win that game.
No, it was 9. It was 9-8.
It was a 9-6,
like 9-6, something like that.
Something like that. But
they tied it at 6-6.
Edmonton finds a way to dig themselves holes and then come back. I love the high-scoring game last night. To me, that is as entertaining as it gets. I don't care about 1-0. I don't care about 2-1.
Then you're not a real hockey fan.
Give me 8-6
and I know
all
you're
the time.
not.
Well, listen, okay, maybe I'm not a real hockey fan, but that's how hockey was played in the 80s. Are you telling me all those people in the 80s with Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux?
Why do you think Wayne Gretzky has as many goals as he has?
I mean,
Grant Fuhrer won a lot of series for the Oilers.
He was an amazing goalie.
I'm just saying, there's a lot of great goalies in the 80s. Yeah, the games were more high scoring. The rules were changed.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, it's not my style game. That's all.
You'd rather a 1-0 game?
Absolutely. I like 0-0 triple overtime.
So hold on. You mean to tell me? And I know we're cutting to commercial. Fletcher, Sam, I got you guys. So you mean to tell me I get to sit down on one of my evenings that I've come from working my job here with you, beautiful individuals, sit down at 9:00, and then I get to watch hockey for 4 hours just to see a triple time final. 1-0, you can kiss my you-know-what.
But you're looking at phenomenal save after phenomenal.
But I can't tell you phenomenal save.
Oh,
that's what I'm really looking at.
Yeah.
Some guy just like Jason with these huge knee pads. That's what I'm looking at for 4.5 hours. No, thank you. I'd rather watch Connor McDavid and McKinnon go for 13 points, man.
One of the things that I'd rather do is talk about the Madden cover. Who graces the cover of the 2023 Madden game? We'll have that for you next. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac. It is no secret that new cars are hard to come by, but they are available at Les Stanford. Gotta make a plan, though. Allocation coming in for lease or purchase of new vehicles. Les Stanford also has over 350 pre-owned cars on the lot right now. All makes, all models, all years. Some of them with less than 500 miles on them, so they're like new. Get off your heels into some wheels. Come on down today. Practically giving them away. Les Stanford Chevrolet. LesStanford.com. LesStanford.com.
Find new roads.
Boom.
Find them.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Detroit Sports by Detroiters and for Detroiters. This is Detroit Sports Network. This is Woodward Sports.
Our friends at Alta Equipment know that when it comes to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction. With the most diverse rental fleet in Michigan, there is nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. Give them a call at 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. That is 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
Hey, you better stop getting so good at those reads, Sam, because I'm telling you like this. I'm passing you all the reads from now on because you're getting better and better and better. You better look out.
I'll take all of it, man.
Hey,
look out.
We got to get you paid, man. That's the next step.
trying to find why is this taking so long? Trying to find this Edmonton. Here we go. Okay, Stanley Cup Finals. You ready?
Yep.
As you said, such great goaltending. 8-3.
Oh, what are you pulling out?
5-3, 4-3, and then 3-1 and 4-1 games. I mean, what I'm saying is 11 goals in the first game, 8 goals in the second game.
What year are you talking about?
1985 Stanley Cup Finals.
Who are they playing? The Flyers?
Edmonton and the Flyers.
There you go. See how I gave you the Flyers? right off the top. Don't go with me, okay?
Well, I'm telling you.
Just shut your mic off.
8 goals in that first game for Edmonton.
But
you didn't like it.
Shut your mic off.
It's 85. It's 8 goals.
I rooted for the Flyers that year, by the way.
See, that's why he's mad.
Right. Exactly. Guys, did you see the Madden cover?
I did.
So much talk yesterday
not
about
out yet.
Who was going to be on the cover of the Madden football game in 2023. Take a look. It is the man, the myth, the legend himself, John Madden. Well done, everybody at Madden. That is well done.
So this is EA Sports has something to do with that. EA Sports. This is amazing. This is what the cover was, the very first one. This is the cover. They bring it back. Rest in peace to John Madden, the legend. He created. He just took football to another level from the play booth. I mean, from the booth, from the announcer's booth. He took it to another level. He did his thing on the field, passed away. It had to be John Madden. Mm-hmm. Like, it couldn't be anybody else but John Madden on this cover. Literally, less than a year after he passed away, John Madden had to be the guy. I remember when Madden would come out, this is in the middle of, when I was growing up, like, Madden would come out, like, it's celebrated. It's still celebrated now, but it was celebrated different back then. Like, you talk to your parents, like, hey, whatever you needed to do to make sure your parents are buying Madden, whatever the grade point average was, it was achievable. You may be a career 2.0 grade point average getter. Madden came out, you had a 3.5. Madden came out, you had a 3.8. Like, you did anything to get Madden, it just was fun.
When was the last time his voice was on the game? That would have been really cool if they could have somehow brought his voice back.
I want to say it was his last Super. It was the 2011 Madden.
Okay.
2011 Madden, because that would have been the 2010 season in which Green Bay beat the Steelers.
Yep, that was his last game.
No, I got that wrong. That was Steelers beat the Cardinals.
I've never been
a big
Steelers beat the Cardinals.
Right.
So 2011 Madden,
Michaels,
which would have been the 2010 season, because the area ahead.
That was the James Harrison 100
that was the last one, 2011 Madden.
I've never been a big video game player.
Me neither.
I know the Madden game. I couldn't tell. I probably have not played Madden 5 times in my life of any year. Like, I used to play Tecmo Bowl and that kind of stuff on Nintendo.
Yeah, 89, 99,
but I never got into the Madden game. I love the mystique of the Madden game, and I love that it's continued. I love how big it is. I love how it's carried on the legacy of John Madden. But I've never been into the game, so I can't answer that question.
We're 4 years apart, right?
Yeah.
Brian? I think I'm 39. No, we're 3 years apart.
Well, I'm 43. You're 39.
Okay, so we're 4 years apart. You're right at that peak.
Totally right at the border.
You're right at that point where guys, you didn't necessarily play video games.
Yeah.
Like, I'm right at the end to where guys are playing video games. So, like, it makes sense. Like, when Madden first came out with the first cover that had an actual player on it would have been Madden 01, would have been Eddie George. Eddie George was the first player to grace
we have all those covers.
Yeah, so Eddie George was the first one to grace the cover, and that was 01. So I'm kind of like in that realm. In 01, you're about to graduate from Michigan.
Right. It's funny you say that because
was I right? Is it Eddie George?
Yeah, and leave this up for a little while. If you could.
It is Eddie George.
If you get a chance, we'll throw it on the backboard as well. But Braylon, it's funny you say, because that 4 years is everything.
Lions got 2.
In that, I didn't send my first email in my life till I was a senior in college.
Oh yeah.
That was not anything that we would do.
And see, I'm younger than you.
Yeah.
Like, I literally had Yahoo. And I think I was sending Hotmail. Excuse me, I had Hotmail first. I was sending emails as a sophomore in high school. That was 99.
You didn't have AOL?
99. I did have American Online.
Remember all that? Wow, that's great. Some of the great video game covers, lots of Madden.
How many Hall of Famers are on covers? That's a good question.
That's great. There was that Madden curse, too, that was always talked about.
Hey, if you weren't going to put Madden on this year, who would you put on?
Hold on, leave that. Hold on, say it right before that Madden. If you don't believe in the Madden curse, look at Madden 19. And look what happened after Madden 19. That's all I want to say. Look at Madden 19. Who's on the cover?
Antonio Brown.
If you don't believe in the Madden curse.
But that's a great question, Maz. So it was teased that the Madden cover was coming out today, and so many people asked who deserves to be on the cover. Who's on the cover? Now, ultimately, I think this is the great answer. John Madden. Go back to the first year of it. But who is the face of the NFL? If you had one player that you could put on the Madden cover, who would it be? Who is that guy?
Hold on. I'm not going to answer the question. You asked 2 questions in that question. I just got to clear it up. Because you said, who's the face of the NFL? And then if you had a choice, who would it be?
Yeah.
Those are 2 different things.
Are they? Okay.
So would you do them both or just...
Give me both. If you've got 2 different people, give me...
All right. Okay. So the face of the NFL is Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. Like, we talk about them all the time. And now, to be honest, it's Josh Allen. Like, we're talking about Josh Allen every day in some form of the conversation. Like, it's Josh Allen, it's Patrick Mahomes. Those are the faces of the NFL. I would put Aaron Donald on that cover. Like, Aaron Donald literally is the second greatest defensive player. Disrespect for you, Maz. Aaron Donald is the second greatest defensive player already in NFL history going into year 2. He won the Super Bowl.
Didn't even think about
for
it.
For the Los Angeles Rams last year. Cooper Kupp will be one of those MVPs that you forget about, like Deion Branch winning the Super Bowl. You're going to forget about that.
Cooper Kupp ain't Deion Branch.
No, I'm talking about you're going to forget about him. Like, when I just said Deion Branch was Super Bowl MVP, you were like, oh, shoot, he was.
Larry Brown, too. Remember him back in the day?
No, I don't. I'm not that old. That's what's going to happen with Cooper Kupp. Because you're going to be like, oh, yeah.
Dallas 95?
You're going to be like, oh, all I remember about the Super Bowl is Odell Beckham had 2-3 touchdowns, and he had an ACL injury, and I think Matt Stafford threw 2 touchdowns at the end to win it. But Aaron Donald had 9 sacks. It's going to be this glorified thing, and you're going to realize, no, Odell Beckham had 1 touchdown. Cooper Kupp had 2. But you don't think about it right now. And the Super Bowl is only 5 months old, and I still can only think about Matt Stafford and Aaron Donald.
It's a really great...
Aaron Donald should be on the cover if Madden didn't pass away.
That's a really great name, because I sometimes we conflate who's the best player with who's the most popular player. And obviously you can get into the Tom Brady and the Aaron Rodgers. I think those guys now move aside for the Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allens of the world. Because, and I'll even put...
Joe Burrow?
Well, I'm not going to put Josh Allen even next to Patrick Mahomes yet. I'm just not going to do it.
We got a lot of Tom Brady's in the YouTube.
Yeah, I love Josh Allen, but until he beats Patrick Mahomes and until he wins a Super Bowl, I do think Patrick Mahomes is the face of the NFL. But then you bring in Aaron Donald.
Yep.
And I would tell you that Aaron Donald is, to me...
TJ Watt's another guy, another name.
To me, Aaron Donald is the best player in the NFL, bar none. But I think Patrick Mahomes might be the most recognizable and the face of today's NFL. What say you? I'm going to get to the YouTube chat momentarily. Lots of Tom Brady love on there. Maz, I want to get your take on this. It should be
Tom Brady, but if we're talking about the face of the NFL, like Tom Brady is like, he retired.
Yeah.
Tom Brady retired. It's amazing. His swan song is coming. We know that, but he's not the face anymore. Well, Aaron Rodgers isn't the face anymore. It's these young Thunder Guns.
We'll continue on with this, but first a message from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It is no secret that we broadcast live from the Lady Jane's headquarters here in Birmingham. Definitely awesome to get on the air and maybe looking real good. Get a precision haircut just in time. I highly recommend to you Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Over 100 locations nationwide, many of them locally here in the Metro Detroit area. Walk in anytime, relax, sit down, watch your favorite team play. Open every single day, 7 days a week, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Precision haircuts. Lady Jane's, it's
wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
OddsTrader.com.
OddsTrader.
You know what?
Sorry.
It's my first time reading Odds Trader. Let me go ahead and start over. Odds Trader. That's what I'm talking about. OddsTrader.com, #1 site for all your game day bets. Begin your handicapping journey at OddsTraders.com for play updates, live scores, and bet tracking. Download Odds Trader for your app today for best price in every game and sign-up offers from multiple sportsbook. Visit oddstrader.com.
All right, having some fun talking about, this Madden cover, and there was so much intrigue with who would be on the cover. It is ultimately John Madden, who passed away less than a year ago, after the Super Bowl, actually, just a few months ago.
December, right before Christmas.
It was before Christmas because it was right after the Madden special aired on Fox. So much intrigue as to who would be on the cover, and it kind of got into a conversation of who's the best player in the NFL and really who's the face of the NFL. And Braylon very astutely brought up Aaron Donald as the best player in the NFL and probably the most deserving.
Aaron Donald will go down in history. It's right now. If Aaron Donald never played another 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 4 seasons, whatever, he's going to play in his next contract that he's going to get, and we'll talk about that too, is he's going to go down in history as the best Super Bowl MVP that never was. Like when you look at the game, game this past season, the Super Bowl, the past season,
completely dominated.
Aaron Donald and Von Miller and Floyd, they dominated on the defensive side. If they don't play that way, Matt Stafford's not in the opportunity or the situation to be able to throw 2 touchdowns later to Cooper Kupp, who was MVP. Even on the last play for the last possession for Cincinnati, which wasn't the last play of the game because there was a kneeling situation for the Rams, Aaron Donald manhandled 2 grown-ass men in a triple team situation.
It was offsides.
To get to the quarterback, okay, well, you got 3 people guarding,
right,
so he can get a little head start. Got past that and still got to Joe Burrow, got that sack. Because you saw what happened if he's just a little bit late. Jamar Chase is wide open on Jalen Ramsey, and then Joe Burrow has a cannon. Even on the last play of the game, he had 2 sacks in that game. Should have been 3. They didn't credit him with 3. Come on, man.
Right or wrong, though, I don't think the best player makes you the most popular or the face of the game, at least in the NFL. I believe Brady and Rodgers step aside now, and I think Mahomes is the face of the current NFL. Maz can...
No doubt.
Yeah.
Mahomes is the guy. He is the face of the NFL. Who I'd put on the cover if it wasn't John Madden? I might throw Matthew Stafford a crumb this year. Getting traded from the Lions to the Rams.
I don't have a problem with that.
And winning the Super Bowl and winning all those games in the playoffs.
Bad take.
I don't have a problem with that.
That's just a side note. But John Madden is the guy on there.
Matthew Stafford, only next to Aaron Rodgers last year, was the most talked about player in the NFL throughout the whole season. Like every time a subject came up, it was the trade from Detroit. Detroit sucks. He goes to the Rams. Like that's all you heard every day of football season last year. And then he goes and finishes it out and wins the Super Bowl. So I have no problem with that. Think about Josh Allen. You're right. Patrick Mahomes has won a Super Bowl. He has been to 4 straight AFC championships, and he has been in the Super Bowl twice. So you're right about that. If Josh Allen played for a different team, different organization that was in a different city, like we're starting to love Buffalo, but Buffalo still doesn't have big media fanfare. It's Buffalo. Watch out for Justin Herbert. Herbert.
We're going to get into Justin Herbstreit. Talking about Kirk Herbstreit in just a little bit as we look at the new NFL announcing booths. That is always providing some intrigue. Also, anytime you talk about the NFL, you can't not do it without the quarterbacks. Dan Orlovsky had some interesting things on his Twitter regarding quarterbacks you win because of and quarterbacks you win with. Let's see if we could find out where our quarterback is. You see him anywhere? This is the list of quarterbacks that you win because of right now. So you've got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, Herbert, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Matt Stafford.
That's a lot.
It's 12 quarterbacks.
As of right now.
All of them. Well, no.
I'm throwing a flag on the play.
Okay.
I'm throwing a flag on the play for 2 names.
Can I guess?
And there are 2. You're going to get both of them, I guarantee.
Derek Carr?
That's one. And the other one?
I got to see the list again.
We were just talking about him. Matt Stafford.
Matt Stafford. I don't know.
Matt Stafford, listen, if you want to go throughout the lineage, you can go Detroit and the Rams. Matt Stafford's a guy you win games with. That's fine. Now, Matt Stafford's a guy who can do a little bit. But Matt Stafford doesn't have a ton of games where you're like, Matt Stafford won that game. Like, if you want to be honest, everybody on that list that was winning quarterbacks, they legitimately are the reasons their teams win.
Yeah, I gotta disagree with you,
Before he won a Super Bowl, nobody would have said this last year before he won a Super Bowl, and then he wins a Super Bowl on a team with the best defense.
So I read this article, and it just came out the other day, and I wish I had sent it. I did not send it.
But talk about it now.
It was in relation to the win-loss record of quarterbacks should be a statistic that we don't talk about anymore.
I saw that.
Because Matt Stafford and Jared Goff prove to you how foolish that argument is. Because when you just swap quarterbacks on teams and you look at how brilliant you are with one team and how awful you are with the next.
No, and see it. But when you do that, they don't take into account the other players that go onto a team. Because when you look at that article, it doesn't tell you that Odell Beckham came to them halfway through the season and scored 8 touchdowns in the last 5 games. It doesn't tell you that Von Miller had 8 sacks in the last 6 games of the season, including 2 in the Super Bowl. See, it doesn't add stats like that.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but then you look at a guy like Patrick Mahomes. And Braylon, what do you always say? You say if you don't win in college, you're not going to win in the NFL.
Right.
That was not the case with Mahomes. And it might be an outlier.
Right.
He may be the outlier. But when you don't...
But you went back to college. We're talking about the NFL now.
I know, but I'm trying, because this is the only experience I've seen in Patrick Mahomes play. When Mahomes has Kelsey and Tyreek Hill and all, this great offensive line, you see what he can do.
Yeah.
When he's playing for Texas Tech and has a losing record, I think that Matthew Stafford deserves a little bit more credit than we give him than we all want to give him credit for, because of how bad it was here in Detroit.
Not me. I give him all the credit.
Yeah.
And I said I couldn't wait to get him out of here.
I'm kind of riding the fence on that. I'm kind of halfway.
I was happy he got out of here.
You do, man. But what I will say, though, with the exception of, I guess is the one thing that matters most, which is the playoffs, Matthew Stafford was definitely a beacon of light for the Rams. And he had one of the best, if not the best, in terms of stat-wise, although there was an extra game, the playoffs has ever seen in the NFL. So I give him all the credit for that. But up until the playoffs, he wasn't the guy that was winning games. Like, you're not like, I got Stafford on my team, we're gonna win. You're like, I have Stafford on my team, we have a great chance to win. I have Stafford, but you're not saying we're gonna win. Like, we look at Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. We look at those guys, and when it doesn't matter who they are playing against,
but they've all been winners the whole career.
We're like, they're gonna win. This person's gonna win. So that's all I'm saying. It could be a back and forth. Maybe I pull off the point a little bit.
But before we put up the graphic of quarterbacks you win with,
right?
Can we go ahead and put the graphic up again of quarterbacks you win because of?
Yeah.
Because I think there's some interesting names here left off. The glaring one to me that is left off this list is Dak Prescott. I don't see Dak Prescott on this list
because he shouldn't be on that list. Because the year that they've been to 2 playoffs, Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain Prescott, as Stephen A. Smith likes to say, he's been in the league. Since he's been in the league, they've been to the playoffs twice. The first year he went to the playoffs, the reason why they go to the playoffs is because they had the best running back in the NFL. They had the best running attack in the NFL. They had the best offensive line in the NFL and a damn good defense. He didn't have to do that much. Look at his stats. They go, they get a bye, and then what happens, man? They lose. They lose to Green Bay in the second round. This year,
tough loss though.
It was a tough loss, but it was
should have been a touchdown to Des Bryant.
True, but yet and still it wasn't. No, and then here you go again. They're in the playoffs last year. Dak Prescott was a part of it, and I'm not saying it was his fault, because it wasn't his fault per se, but he was a part of the play. It's one of the worst plays in terms of taking care of the clock, in terms of knowing what to do, in terms of the moment, in terms of this is it, this is all she wrote, there is no tomorrow. One of the worst plays I've seen from everybody involved. I'm talking coach, I'm talking about ref, I'm talking about Dakota Rain Prescott, I'm talking about everybody involved. It's one of the worst plays I've ever seen. And they lose the game at home to the San Francisco 49ers.
They practiced that.
But I'm saying, but to his point, you can't put Dak in that conversation.
Okay.
And maybe he's not. And maybe he's not.
I would take him on my team, though.
I would take him on my team, but he's not a quarterback you win because of.
And maybe not. And, I usually agree with Dan Orlovsky knows more about quarterback play than I will ever know in my little pinky. You know what I'm trying to get to.
If you only knew the end zone was 10 yards.
Exactly.
Not 10 and a half.
Fine. But I usually tend to listen to Dan Orlovsky when he talks about these quarterbacks. And another part about this, he's only got 12 guys on that list. There's 32 teams.
20 more to go.
In the NFL. So does that mean there's 20 names on the second list? We'll reveal that to you next. But first, a message from Chili Peppers Tanning.
That's right. And if you join the Pepper Club, Ryan, you can get a chance to get unlimited tanning. They beat all competitors by $5. 26 locations. One right down the street here on Woodward. More to come. All competitors, they beat them by $5 if you join the Chili Peppers Club. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans, your vitamin D headquarters. Check them out at chilipepperstanning.com.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper. Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward.
All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports.
Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Hey, gang. It's Maz for Big Boy. This is it, my man, Big Boy. Take him everywhere I go. Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. They brought back some of the classic breakfast items, including those strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffles. If you want lunch, they got the strawberry bacon chicken wrap. How about the crispy chicken wrap, the strawberry salad, perfect for spring heading in to summer. Don't forget, grab some dessert. How about some strawberry pie? Very delicious, I can promise you that. That's $1.99 if you spend $7.99 or more at a participating Big Boy.
Very good. Woodward Sports on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube and have the ability to do so, maybe you're watching on your television screen in your family room and you really can't do it then. But if you are watching on a device, go ahead and hit that like button for us. We'd certainly appreciate that. And go ahead and subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube. Less than 300 subscribers away from 26,000.
You can like on your TV if you're watching on a YouTube app.
Oh, well, there you go.
There you go.
I usually watch on the old Xfinity.
Oh.
Little old Woodward, huh?
Little old Woodward Sports.
Guess
little
what?
Old us.
I make you a promise. In 2 years, we won't be little old Woodward Sports. Hey,
2 years.
I'm talking about when we get to the full
football season, baby.
This is true.
Here
now.
We go. Guys, we're talking NFL because Dan Orlovsky came out with a list, and we're always talking quarterbacks. We love the NFL. Yeah. 99 days away, we're going to have the countdown, no doubt. Dan Orlovsky tweeted out quarterbacks you win because of and quarterbacks you win with. He only has 12 quarterbacks on the win because of list. I thought that was a little short. But you disagree?
You threw Dak Prescott's name out there.
Hold on.
Well, I thought there's like 16 guys.
I'm going to get to that. And this is where I start with. It should be no more than 12. Because how many teams before last year get to the playoffs? 12.
That's true.
It's 12 guys.
It's true.
6 guys in part of a team. Because I won't disrespect, what the defense does, won't disrespect what the offense does. But 6 quarterbacks in each conference get to the playoffs. It was 6 and 6. It's 12. So 12 is a perfect number. And then we get to talk about Dakota Rain Prescott. You talk about Dak. Dak hasn't really done anything for me to believe you can win because of him. He's had tremendous defense. He has tremendous running game. And then when the running game fell, he's had Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. He had Wilson. He's always had something. When you want Dak Prescott to take that next step, or you want Dak to show me that $75 million that you made last year, show me why you made it. Mike Gallup gets injured, Dak Prescott goes to poop. Amari Cooper gets injured, and Dak Prescott goes to poop. Like, when one of your players gets injured, i.e. Aaron Rodgers, all his wide receivers were injured in the Arizona game, and guess what?
Never forgot.
He went out to Arizona and won the game. You don't know who he won with, but you know he won that game. Obviously, Maz will tell you, and he's right, the running back field, especially A.J. Dillon. So when I get to that playoff game, and I'm talking about the worst play that I've ever seen from the coach that called the play, from Dak Prescott to know that he's got to clock the ball. He's got to get there faster. The times is ticking. When you get paid $75 million, you're no longer Chris Webber at Michigan against UNC calling timeout. No, we can give you a pass because you're 18, 19 years old. When you're $75 million in, can't give you a pass for that. You have something to say about that, man?
That's a play they practice, Bray. They put that play in because it worked in practice. Now, they got the clock running in real time in the playoffs, obviously. It was not the same. Would they miss it by a split second?
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
if the referee could have easily blew the whistle and marked that ball quicker. They did everything right that play.
People were jogging, though. Like, the line didn't get it. Like, the reason why the refs took a little extra time to get it set is because the line wasn't set. Like, players weren't set. Some of the players did beat I want to say it was like 9 seconds or 11. I think it was 9.
I forget.
Whatever. Some of the players did beat like the 9 seconds or whatever it was. They got there, but not everybody did. And as a ref, especially in a moment like that, you can't snap the ball before, or you can't put the ball down before guys are ready, or it'll come back on the NFL.
I just wanted to defend it because I didn't think it was the worst play I've ever seen in the NFL. It was a weird play because you don't usually see a quarterback draw like that at that time. You know, he's at midfield. You got to get down there, and they didn't have a great kicker either. Greg the Leg Zuerlein was not at his peak at that time, so they got to get him inside the 40, and that's what they did.
What happened to Greg Zuerlein?
I don't know.
Man, he was so automatic when they were in St. Louis.
Yeah.
In St. Louis, they were automatic. He was automatic.
When you lose it, you lose it.
Confidence.
That's basically what it is. Hey, let me put up the list of Dan Orlovsky's quarterbacks who you win with. Now, fall in the category of unknown because of age. That's Trevor Lawrence. That's Zach Wilson.
Tua.
Tua's up there.
No, everyone else unknown because of age. Like, basically, they're saying they're too young.
Yeah.
So he's basically saying Justin Fields, we don't know yet.
We don't know.
Herbert, we don't know yet. Tua should be on the list too.
Tua's on the
He put him on the win. He likes him.
He likes Tua. But Jared Goff is not even in the win with. He's in the win in spite of category. So you tell me why I'm wrong to be looking for a new quarterback.
And then look at his backups.
Yeah.
Look at his backups.
And granted, this isn't Ryan Ermanni saying this. This is one of the best analysts, especially quarterback analysts, in our era right now. And yes, you may laugh at him because he ran out of the back of the end zone, or
he puts it proudly on his Twitter.
Yeah, he's not an NFL Hall of Famer. I don't think you have to be an NFL. Bill Parcells was not an NFL Hall of Famer for being a player. You know, I mean, you don't have to play to have a brilliant mind for this stuff.
Right.
Dan Orlovsky has a brilliant mind for quarterbacks, and he's telling you that Jared Goff isn't even in the category.
And we used Chris Sims the other day. We had he's 30th on Chris 30th.
So forgive me if I'm looking for a new quarterback.
No, I don't mind that. And I wanted to defend Jared Goff in this situation because I wanted to talk about him going to the Pro Bowl. You need me to move over, Fletch? We're good. I want to talk about him going to the Pro Bowl. And I'm looking at his stats, and I'm like, I understand what Dan is talking about. Like, you look at his stats, right? You look at his first starting year, 2017, 3,800. 28 touchdowns, 7 picks. That's not bad. It's not bad, all right? It's not bad. He goes next year, he goes to I want to say he went to the Super Bowl in 2018. They went to the Super Bowl. 46, 88, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Then the next year, 46 again, 38, 22 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. That almost cancels out. Then 39, 52, 20 and 13. That's also another almost cancelization. And then last year I won't count because he was undermanned and he missed some games, so I won't give him that. When you look back at that and you talk about the Super Bowl year and you're like, oh, they went to Super Bowl, when you really start breaking it down, he's right not to be on this list. But the good thing about it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, he's got time to change that. But based on what I look so far in his stats and what I've seen, I would have to say that Jared Goff doesn't deserve to be on the list that you win with. You win in spite of, just based off what I've seen, his track record and his stats. But he's only in he's only in year 7. He can change the narrative of who he is.
I wish I could be inside the heads of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and that regime. I really do. Because I'd love to know what their plan is. Do they really think this guy is just going to blossom this year and, that's it? It's going to be kumbaya. We're going to pay him $30 million, $35 million a year? Or do they have a plan that says we're definitely going to draft one of the top quarterbacks this year? There's no question. Even though we might win 6 games and draft 15th or so, I guess a quarterback's going to be there for us. Or do they have some other plan? Are they going to trade for somebody? I don't know. That's why Ryan and I have said you got to draft a quarterback this year. I don't care. All of those, you're going to tell me every one of those quarterbacks that were picked this year, they're all going to be busts? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Or honestly, can you get Marcus Mariota?
No, it's okay.
I mean,
forget him.
But if you're not going to draft a quarterback, I don't know. I don't know, Bray.
Listen,
Atlanta got him knowing they were going to draft a quarterback.
I'm not saying that I necessarily believe in Jared Goff to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. What I'm trying to say is you're finding out more and more, and I'm going to get to where it makes sense because I'm going to talk about Brad Holmes. Where it makes sense is look at Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl, right? Do we got to go down the list of players that he had on that team and who he won with? You're starting to see the quarterbacks. They're winning because of whether they're lights out or not. Aaron Rodgers, we talk about him being the greatest quarterback. He can't win. He has talent. He can't win in the playoff. But the guys that are winning Super Bowls, regardless of the talent, they're winning with. Like Tom Brady, his Super Bowl with the Bucs. Do we need to talk about that defense that they had? Do we need to talk about that offense? So when you talk about Jared Goff, if Brad Holmes is looking at him like Matt Stafford, like, hey, you know what? I saw Brad Holmes. I saw Jared Goff over here. Number 1 overall quarterback. If we put enough talent around him, like this could be the arrogance of what coaches and GMs are thinking nowadays. If we put enough talent around this guy would be all right. Like if you put, and I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm not saying that I believe this way or you should. I'm just telling you what they think. If we put together a lights out defense that is legit somewhere between 5 and 10, okay, 5 or 7. And then we put the best offensive line.
Hell, just get to top 20.
Well, guess what? The Lions line got ranked number 3 overall in the NFL. So now you got number 3 line. Now you've added DJ Chark. You've added Amon-Ra St. Brown last year, who blossomed for you. You've added Jameson Williams. Like they're starting to add these pieces. I'm telling you, Brad Holmes looks at it like Matt Stafford. Nobody called Matt Stafford a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and then until he went to the Rams.
Guys, we're going to take a turn in the next segment because there is yet another sexual assault claim against Deshaun Watson that has come out. There's another one that is expected to come out, so that's 2 more. Where is this thing going? And are the Cleveland Browns
in trouble?
In trouble about the salary, but are they going to have to bend the knee to Baker Mayfield? We'll have that for you coming up. But first, a message from Cintron.
Summer of Cintron is here. That's right, man. I'm telling you, it has been hot after hot after hot. What better to go to Kroger's? Now at Kroger's, Cintron is in Kroger's. That's right. I'm talking about the cranberry. I'm talking about the classic and the sugar-free revitalizer drinks. My bad, the energy drinks. They taste amazing. But go on CintronWorld.com and find out which Kroger's they are at because they're only a select. I love them. They're proud partners with the Detroit Tigers, Detroit Lions, and Detroit Pistons. Get it, drink it. Let Cintron be here for the summer. As you're on the boat down by Shane, it's the Aretha now. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
As you're at the Aretha,
Franklin.
You know what I'm saying? As you're in front of the Renaissance, you're on the boat in the Detroit River, and you're venturing out to St. Clair Shores, Lake St. Clair, and getting it in. Take Cintron with you because they want to be here for the memories.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups.
Detroit fans were there.
4 World Series wins.
Detroit fans were there.
And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Guys, we are keeping an eye glued to the trending topic of the day. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, they have reached a verdict. Jurors have reached a verdict in that trial, expected to come out in about 10 minutes or so.
How long did that take?
I don't know. I have not really been following the case. Braylon, do you know?
Well, yeah, technically, I don't know. I was going to literally lie on the stand right now. I was going to lie to you guys. I'm glad.
And then you realized.
I'm glad I realized I was
you
under oath.
don't have to do it.
I was under ooth.
Yeah.
I was under oath.
It goes back to us. Why do we always have to get our own way?
Why do we feel the need? I almost told a bold-faced lie.
Right.
No,
no need.
The question is, who wins in this case really, though? Because if Johnny Depp wins, does he really win? It's like if he wins and she has to pay him $50 million. Now, we don't know how long that process is going to take. And then it'll be like, yes, you know, he won the case, but is it really true? And if I'm Paramount Studios, if I'm Fox Studios, if I'm Columbia, am I going to allow Johnny Depp to be on this movie? If I see there's a project that the director wants Johnny Depp to be on, I'm like, I don't know about that because I don't know. Like, will he win? Amber Heard.
Detroit Dabber says 6 weeks for the trial.
Is Amber Heard's, like, is her career over because she lied and she took a poop in Johnny Depp's bed? Like, is her career over?
No.
Can you imagine?
She'll be on a reality TV
I feel
show.
like even if Johnny Depp wins this case, just like he said on the stand, he said as soon as the allegation came out, it was already over for me.
Can you imagine, like, what it must take? The place you have to go to take a dump in somebody's bed.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, damn. You
I have done, like,
nothing.
My mind has spiraled before.
Who's the player? What? Kellen Winslow Jr. Didn't he take a dump in someone's shoes?
And who was the player that took a dump in the laundry basket with all
shoes,
the clothes?
Someone's shoes in the closet. I think it was Kellen Winslow.
Wasn't it Najee Davenport?
Yes,
Najee
Davenport.
When you bring up Kellen, you know I get sensitive.
It is. I'm telling you, he's
man.
you
talking about senior?
No, junior.
How do you take a dump in somebody's bed? Or in their laundry basket, or in their shoes.
Did you see someone on Twitter the other day when they said, "Here's Amber"?
That's how you know you should. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here's Amber Heard taking a dump on Johnny Depp's bed, and they showed a picture of a Packers bedspread.
But see, that's when that first came out. All right, I'm looking at you guys right now. That's how you should have known that she was full of poop.
But, okay, so Mike G is saying a correction. She left a dump, didn't take a dump. So did you
had
do
to
that
take it to leave it
somewhere else, bag it, and then dump? I just don't even know. I can't even talk about it anymore.
Like, is it like
don't scoop it. You just throw the whole damn thing away.
With your hand?
This is like Can't Buy Me Love?
But
you fold everything up and you just throw it out.
But that's what I'm laughing at. Like, to go to a place, and to Ryan's point, to go to a place where you're able to, like, take a poop, and I don't care if she didn't do it in the bed. You pooped and put it in the bed or pooped on the bed. That means something's wrong with you, which means whatever came out of your mouth after that, I wouldn't believe. Like, because people that are that pissed, people that are that assaulted and that upset, they aren't taking poops. Like, they are taking charge. They are going, like, you know what I'm saying? She'll be crying on the stand.
The dog did not take the dump.
No, there's a difference. I've had dogs my whole life. There's a difference.
I mean, if Johnny says it was human feces, I'm going to believe Johnny.
I'm trusting Gilbert Grape and Jack Sparrow. I'm trusting him all the time. Jack Sparrow.
How do we get through the day?
I don't know. And they took him out of the the Pirates of the Caribbean. Now they have some new spinoff, which his daughter is now playing. You're talking about $125 million opportunity every time they make one. To be taken out of $125 million opportunity because of some BS. Man, that's tough.
Oh, man.
That's tough.
I don't even know how to transition to this next segment, but we're going to do it anyway.
None of them have taken dumps.
Well, I don't know.
Well, someone's full of this in this case, that's for sure.
That's right. Make it 23 civil cases against Deshaun Watson and probably more, at least one more, coming. This from ESPN. Bronze quarterback Deshaun Watson
Damn, he
facing
looks
a
guilty in that picture.
23rd active civil lawsuit against the alleged inappropriate sexual conduct. Now, Maz, did this come after the HBO special aired?
Yes, this is after the HBO special aired. 2 more have come out since then. What's the next tweet you got there, Fletch?
So lost in all the news, this from Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk. Lost in all the news is that a 23rd lawsuit has been filed against Deshaun Watson, that a 24th lawsuit is coming. Braylon, I think, rightly or wrongly, probably wrongly, I would like to believe in my heart of hearts that juries get it right 100% of the time. The grand juries get it right 100% of the time. And once they make a decision,
but they don't.
It's fine
not to move forward with legal proceedings, it gives me pause to say, if they are looking at evidence and they come up with nothing, what am I supposed to do then at that point? It's so hard now to think that that grand jury got this right. Not that 23 and not that you needed 23 and 24 because 19, 20, 21, and 22 weren't good enough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
you're right, Ryan. So 2 things. First of all, to answer your question first, it's so tough to prove a he say, she say. It's so tough, especially when there's no physicality, there's no violence, there's it's none of that. It's just her word about you asking her to stick her finger in your butt. Is her words saying that versus your words saying like, no, I would never do that. Like, it's hard as a grand jury.
Don't put the camera on.
It's hard to, as a grand jury, be like, you know what? I think that he asked her to put his finger in his butt. And he's lying about it, and he probably did something more with his other girls. So it's just hard in a rhetoric like that. Now, with that being said, as soon as this came out, I'm gonna be honest right now. Whenever somebody black does anything, I'm always like, nah, they ain't do nothing. I need to see more proof. It is, you know what? It is what it is. I don't have to explain myself. It is what it is.
No, you do not.
So when Deshaun Watson comes out, he's a young black quarterback that's at the peak. Like he's literally one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He comes out and asks for a trade because the organization that he plays with, they're a terrible organization. You've heard Andre Johnson, who will be in the Hall of Fame shortly, come out about them. You heard DeAndre Hopkins, who's the best wide receiver at the time. They traded him for a bag of peanuts to the Arizona Cardinals. So when he comes out and says, I want to be traded after going 4,800 yards and 40 touchdowns on a team that won 4 games, you're like, soon as he asked for a trade, now all of a sudden all of the allegations come out. So initially I'm like, this is BS. You've seen it countless times where people plant evidence. How many times do we see people plant evidence and do dumb stuff to try to win a case? So initially I'm like, 23 cases out of nowhere. This means that, this is on them. This is something they're trying to do. Now as it's played out a little longer, you start to realize, in my mind, I'm not speaking for everybody else, he goes to massage therapists because with massage therapists, when you go in there, it's not like going to a prostitute. Where like anything you do with a prostitute, it's going to be believed that you did that. Because you're stooping to that level to grab a paid worker of illegal services. But when you go to a massage therapist, it's like you go into massage therapist because you can kind of like throw the shoulder out there like, hey, I mean, is it okay if you do a little extra? Like, that's the services provided. Then you're starting to listen to some of the things like that girl on HBO, man, she broke down. Like,
no, they were real.
Like, she was real. And I'm not saying they all were real, but she was real.
Those two were real.
100%. Those two were real. Then you see, like, more coming out. And this is a new freaky world that we live in. And you start to listen to stuff. I mean, it's when you have all of everything being accepted, if you have everything being accepted in the world like it is today, especially in our country, you can see all this freaky stuff making sense. And I'm telling you, now that I look at it, I can look at it through this lens. Maybe the Houston Texans already knew all of that stuff, because one thing I tell you about being in the NFL, they know.
Yeah.
They know everything. So maybe they knew, and they protected him until he said, you know what, I want to go to another team. And then they said, oh, you do?
Listen to me before you say anything, Ryan.
Sure.
We all know we're not dummies. There's ways you can go get a massage from a massage therapist, and then there's from what I understand, there's the happy ending massages. Okay.
Rub and release.
Yes. He chose to go on Instagram and find some girls that were attractive to him, and he put it out there to them, and by them accepting him, He pretty much thought he could have done carte blanche.
Rubbing tongue.
And you know what? He got the wrong girls. For him, he picked 24 of the wrong girls.
The difference is, Maz, you're right. But what it is, not the difference. What it is there are spots you go to where you can request, you can say a little code word, and then there's something, I don't know this from experience, but you can say this and there's a code word and there's something else added, and you can do that. But
like what Robert Kraft did.
Exactly. But he tried to go to girls that no one told him that they were doing rubbing tugs. Nobody told him that in the 61st minute you can have this service happen or this can be Nobody told him that. He thought because he was 150 in, talking about 150 million, that is, ladies and gentlemen, because he was 150 in, because he was one of the best quarterbacks, because he was the man, he thought that maybe that he can coerce them and it would be okay, and you're finding out that it's not. I just wonder what happens with the Browns now.
Well, that's what we're going to talk about next. Where do the Cleveland Browns go from here? What is the NFL's responsibility? And quite frankly, what is the Cleveland Browns' responsibility? We'll get to that next. Plus, the verdict is being read. We'll get you that next. Ermanni and Edwards. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm. They are your local security experts, have been for over 90 years. They keep you safe, give you peace of mind, whether you're at home or on the road. Their 24/7 local monitoring makes sure what is important to you is safe. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT for peace of mind. That number again, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Call them today. Let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
It's not read yet. Sorry, guys. We are watching. We are keeping an eye on the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. The verdict is being read. They're standing up right now. We'll get that for you if you so care about it. But we'll read the verdict for you when we get it.
Lots of people do, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, continuing on with the Deshaun Watson 23rd. Complaint has been filed. A 24th one is expected. Where do the Cleveland Browns go from here? I mean, we're a sports show. We try to stick to. I don't know what happened in these massage rooms. I just don't.
Hey, sidebar. Bill, who's our favorite TV dad? Bill Cosby.
Yeah,
he's on trial today for all the civil cases.
For 82 and 83?
Yeah, for the civil cases. For all the civil cases.
What I will say about Deshaun, and we've asked this questions, why is it taking Roger Goodell and the NFL so long to deliberate over this? Why is it taking so long to come down with a decision and render a decision, It's because, let's say Deshaun Watson is guilty. What it seems and sounds like from listening to the individuals, the ladies that have made comments about what happened that took place in those massage rooms or wherever they had massages at, seems like if he is guilty, he's guilty of asking for, head, for lack of a better word. Like he's asking for head, or he's
sexual favors.
Thank you. I was looking for that. He's asking for sexual favors of a freaky variety or a regular variety. But if they say no, like if they say, "Oh, you know what? No, that's not what I do. I'm not into this, or I'm not into that." All right, like you can't be wrong for asking for that. And I think that's where they're struggling with filing, is because although he embarrassed those young ladies in those situations, or he made them feel uncomfortable.
He kind of threatened them because he said with the two girls on Real Sport, Sport said at the end when it's all said and done, he told them, "Listen, I know you have a career and you don't want to ruin your career, and I don't want to ruin my career." Basically, in other words, let's keep this on the hush here, or else.
Okay, so therein lies the thing. If that's the worst thing he did is to blackmail blackmail of a power that he did not possess, because in order to ruin them, that means you have to tell somebody that you assaulted them, whether it's mental or physical, it's still assault. Whether you mentally, that means he has to tell somebody he did something. So with that being said, I think that's why it's taking them so long to deliberate. Like, what did we deliberate? Like, how do we come down with a ruling? He was innocent in the court of law. He's going to lose in civil court. We know that. But what did he do? He asked for a favor, and they said no, and then they ran out crying?
Matt, let me ask you, because I did not see the HBO. So I want to ask you. So are you describing a scenario for me where he tried to hook up with somebody?
Yeah, 2 of them.
They said no.
Right.
And then he said, don't say anything about this?
Yeah. He basically said, I know you want you care about your career. Let's, move on here, in other words.
Maybe it's a bigger part of society. Maybe that's a big part of society that we have to work on as the male species, because how many times you were turned down in your life and you were like, hey, don't say anything. You know what I mean? Hey,
yeah.
It's something.
I mean, it is something. I guess if you're in a position of power, it's a really big deal.
You don't want this out.
If you're in a position of power, it's a really big deal. To the average Joe Schmo that hits on his buddy's girlfriend and says, hey, don't say anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's real.
That's kind of the same thing.
And that's why I add the level of mental. Obviously, we work with SMA, and so we know the level of mental health. We know the stressors of mental health, and we know the importance of it. So that's the one thing I will add. Obviously, if he asked for it and then he tried to say, well, I can ruin you or do something like that, then that appeals to the mental.
Yeah, when you're in a position of strength, though, too, or a position of power, it's a totally different game. I do want to get to the aspect of football.
Yeah, how about we do some sports?
Yeah, what?
Hold on, quick. I got a quick read here from the Herd and Depp deal. The jury did not fill out the associated damages in Johnny Depp's $50 million libel lawsuit against Amber Heard, so the judge has asked them to go back and fill that part out.
Yeah, because I'm looking at they've yet to have read the verdict.
They went back in the room.
So that means that out of the $50 million he's suing for, the one thing about that, you know what that means? He can get more or less.
More or less.
More or less.
Such as life.
Usually less.
Now I forgot what I was talking about.
Talking about sports.
Cleveland Browns.
Baker Mayfield.
What do the Cleveland Browns do now? Baker Mayfield is separate. I want to ask, what do they do with Deshaun Watson? Do they just say no? He's going to play, even if the NFL levies a 6-game suspension. He's going to play. He's our quarterback. We are going to war with Deshaun Watson.
Listen, they always say that Haslam did not do a job of talking to the individuals, talking to the ladies, but guess what? Haslam talked to somebody. You're not a billionaire. You're not sitting on this type of bread. You're not owning a franchise in the NFL, which is the hardest franchise to earn a team. To get a team is the hardest one to get, is the NFL. You haven't done some type of due diligence that doesn't let you know that Deshaun Watson's going to be okay. No matter what the hell comes out after this, you're going to be okay. Deshaun Watson's going to be okay. So what's going to happen is 6 games, appeal 4 games, starts against Joe Burrow on Monday night or Sunday night, whatever they want to do that in week 5. But the stain of, they went out there and threw $250 million at this player. He was guilty of something and they didn't care. Yeah, the stain to be there, but just like in the NFL, just like in anything else, when you win, it's over. If the Cleveland Browns go to the playoffs this year, they'll forget about it. If they do something next year, they really will forget about it. So the Cleveland Browns are still fine in terms of him playing, but in terms of the thought process and kind of like the idea of what Cleveland represents and the owners, that might be tainted, but who cares?
When you were golfing last Thursday, we had Ari Mayroff on from Pro Football Focus, and we asked him flat out, did the Browns make a deal or have a deal known with Roger Goodell? In other words, before they signed him to $230 million trade,
we need to know
and
that he
made
can
that
play.
trade, did they talk to Goodell? And he said, no, he does not think that is it. They think they did their own due diligence, and they feel he is going to be acquitted or, like you said, get a minimal suspension and move on from that. So they do not, from what my Pro Football Focus guys tell us, they don't have a deal. They don't know for sure yet if he's going to be clean.
The difference between...
Remember that, Ryan?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And I just made this up, so if it doesn't work, bear with me. The difference between millionaires and billionaires, like millionaires make a lot of mistakes all over the place. Billionaires make mistakes, but never publicly. Like, he's not making a mistake of that level as a billionaire, as an owner. He's not going to make a mistake like go get Deshaun Watson, not do enough of his due diligence, whether he talked to Roger Goodell or these ladies and their families. He's not going to make a move like this and a decision like this without knowing enough, without having enough to know, oh, Deshaun's at least playing 12 games for us this year. And then after that, we'll never be able to talk about, we'll never have to talk about this again. You don't make a move like that as a billionaire without having some type of safety like that. Billionaires don't make mistakes like that. 100 millionaires do.
But now there's 2 more cases, then it might be more coming out.
But you don't think they didn't know that? You don't think after saying
right. No, you're probably right.
You don't think after saying like the HBO, like they always come out whenever something gets public, and now people are like, oh, I can go do that, or I can, let me get in on this money, or let me come up with a case. I mean, I did meet him. I mean, we did hook up. We did do this. Let me add my name to the fire. Sometimes that happens, and people got to take it with a grain of salt, too. I know I said I was now maybe changing my tune because I am, but you still have to take things with a grain of salt. Everybody saw that HBO piece, then everybody talked about it on social media, Twitter, Instagram. Other females that saw that were like, or their friends told them, like, hey, didn't you mess with Deshaun? Like, do you see this?
I'm going to move off this because I do want to bounce around a little bit. But just final word, Braylon and Maz. Does Baker Mayfield ever see the field in a Cleveland Browns uniform moving forward?
No.
Because if something happens with Deshaun.
I got to say no, because I feel like if he sees game 1 and game 2, then he's playing all 17.
Dan Orlovsky said there's no way in hell Baker ever plays for the Browns again.
I agree.
I go with that. I hope Baker lands on his feet, and I hope he wins a Super Bowl.
Maz, this one's for you. The NFL announcing booths this year, and Nick Saban backpedaling. We've got a lot to get to, but is he backpedaling? I'm going to tell you why he's not. I'm going to disagree with Braylon here. Coming up, but first, a message from Gypsy Vodka.
Oh, man, that's right. You see the golf shirt. You see the Puma representation. You see the hat. That lets you know that it's nice outside. That lets you know golf season is back. And with golf, look, man, I'm getting better and better. When my golf game got down to 11 handicap last year. But every once in a while, you still got to take those +2 in the mornings. You still got to take those mulligans. And that's why Gypsy Vodka has created the mulligan. 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade flavors. It is amazing. I'm talking about the best vodka in Michigan. That's right, because it's corn distilled 6 times now.
6 times?
Oh, yeah, 6 times using artesian spring water, Ermanni. And now they're putting that into a can, and they're letting me take that to the golf course with my dad and get out there and take a mulligan, drink a mulligan at the same time. I'm telling you, that's what you need to do this summer. Gypsy Vodka, the mulligan. Go to your liquor store, and guess what? If you're going to get it, be responsible in how you drink.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Maz, this is for you, buddy. It is official. Your 2022 NFL lead broadcast booths.
Yeah.
Take a look at them. ESPN, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Fox, Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, Jim Nance, and Tony Romo on CBS.
Hello,
Mike
friends.
Tirico, as expected, takes over in the booth on Sunday Night Football, along with Chris Collinsworth and Amazon Prime. Thursday Night Football, Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit. Who you got? Who's the best booth to you?
This
is your segment.
That's not even up for debate.
Now listen, you know I love Joe and Troy. They're my guys, right?
Not up for debate.
But
It's not up for debate. It's only one.
Kevin Burkhardt is the best play-by-play announcer amongst all of those guys. And you're going to learn why. He's going to be in the #1 booth. He's deserved it. Jersey boy, come all the way up. Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, supposedly Tom Brady in a couple of years. When he hangs it up, that's my top booth. I look forward to Kevin Burkhardt calling. I wish he called the World Series as well. They gave that to Joe Davis. I don't know why. I know he's a good-looking guy and all, but come on, man. He puts you to sleep. You think Joe Buck is quiet? This guy makes Joe Buck seem like Gus Johnson. Anyway, and then Joe and Troy is my second booth, and then Troy, and then Hello Friends, Jim Nance, and Tony Romo.
I'm intrigued.
Number one is, you didn't even name number one.
I'm intrigued by,
that's the way we all have different
I'm intrigued by the people who I haven't heard. I'm intrigued by the pairing of Michaels and Herb Street, and I'm intrigued by the pairing of Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth.
That's the one.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Do you like that? I love Tirico. I mean, Tirico on Monday Night Football with John Gruden was great.
Tirico and Collinsworth, and I was just joking with you, man. Don't get offended.
I'm not.
I was just joking.
To each his own, man.
But I'm joking.
Is he doing Notre Dame still though?
To each his own is when somebody like makes you like, no, you're wrong. That's to each his own.
All right.
I'm just joking right now.
Thanks.
But I think Tirico and you're welcome. I think Tirico and Collinsworth are going to be great. Collinsworth is very arrogant, smug, and very annoying, but he knows his stuff. Like, that's one thing I've never hated him. He knows his stuff. And I think he just needed to be with somebody different. And you put him with Mike Tirico, somebody that has energy levels, somebody that is exciting, but at the same time, he knows when to pull back. He's very professional. I think that's going to be the best one is Tirico and Collinsworth. I just think Collinsworth needed to be with somebody else, and I think Mike Tirico needed somebody else too. I think they're going to be really good.
Kevin Burkhart's the best.
But
Staying
he's with Greg Olsen.
Just wait. I love Greg Olsen.
Where are you
the
on
way up?
Where are you on the Michaels Herb Street?
I like Herb Street. I'm not a Michaels fan. Never was.
I'm
sorry.
surprised by that.
To me, he peaked in 1980, and that was the end.
I'm really surprised by that. To be
I don't
quite
remember
fair.
Just my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's fine. That's all this is.
1980 was a miracle on ice.
The whole show
That's
is just an
about.
opinion-based show.
That's all it is.
It's called the talk show.
Yes.
Sports opinions.
Technically, it's the barbershop.
Yeah, that's right.
We're just three guys.
He's just not my kind of guy.
We're just five guys having a conversation.
I like guys I can relate to.
I understand it. I can't relate to Al Michaels, do you?
No.
Can you relate to Nick Saban, winner? Let me play this for you.
I kind of like Nick Saban. I got to be honest with you.
Now, people are claiming that Nick Saban is backpedaling. Take a listen to what he had to say.
I didn't say anybody did anything wrong, okay? And I've said everything I'm going to say about this. But, I think that, I guess the point, and I should have never mentioned any individual institutions. I said that before. But, some kind of uniform name, image, and likeness, standard that supports some kind of equitable national competition, I think is really, really important in college athletics and college football. And we've always had that, whether it's equal scholarships, equal Alston money, whatever it might be. And so that's kind of point one. Point two is we need some kind of transparency in name, image, and likeness deals, to verify that, players are doing what they need to do to have the opportunity to, make money in name, image, and likeness. And believe me, I'm all for players making as much as they can make, okay? But I also think that, we've got to have some uniform, transparent way to do that.
What Nick Saban is trying to do is soften the blow. Everybody check me out. Don't pay attention to anything he just said, because he could have said those things when he did and he chose not to. Like, yeah, we understand that. Yes, and name, image, and likeness, and you understand certain institutions are doing something different. We understand what you're talking about and what you want. This is what Nick Saban ultimately did and said, and this is why. Nick Saban talked about Jimbo Fisher. He talked about them buying players, and he talked about the landscape changing. He talked about there being the Wild Wild West, and he kept referencing Texas A&M and other institutions. The reason why Nick Saban is focusing so hard, the reason why he said those comments, I'm not worried about him cleaning it up now. It's happened. It's over. We know you said what you said because you meant it. And now you're trying to, as we get closer to the NCAA season, kind of bring it back and back and back till we forget about it. But the reason why is this. It's because when Nick Saban has to fight against Texas A&M for recruits, when Nick Saban has to fight against Lincoln Riley for recruits, when Nick Saban has to fight against Brian Kelly for recruits. See, before, it's always been a level of competitiveness with Nick Saban, but he knew that Alabama was the golden standard since he got there. 3 years it took him to win a national championship, and he transformed that. And now, in the span of, 08 is when he got there, or 09. So you're looking at now, in the span of 13 years and what he's done in Alabama, the 6 championships he's won. When he goes into a living room now, and he tells that parent, and he tells that child, like, yeah, we're at Alabama, 6 national championships in the last 12 years or whatever it's been. He said, you can come here and you can win. and you can get to the league. And now he has that young man that's 18 years old, 17 years old, or he has that family. They look him dead in his eye as the greatest college football coach of all time. And they tell him, so the F what? How much are you willing to spend to get me to your school? How much are you willing to spend to get my son into school? That legitimately sends Nick Saban into a tizzy. Think about putting in all that work from Michigan State to LSU, to winning a national championship at LSU, to going to the NFL, coming back to the NCAA, and literally turning a college institution that was already a storied franchise, but turning them into the #1 franchise of all time. All that you've done, all those #1 recruiting class, all those national championships, all those Heisman, and you can have a family, and you can have a 17-year-old child look you in your 71-year-old eyes and tell you, so what? Doesn't matter what you done. What you paying? That would drive me freaking insane.
My next question to you, or my first question to you then, and I understand what you're saying. I do. But I would ask you, do you believe that is a sustainable model for college football or college sports in general moving forward?
In terms of NIL?
Yes.
No, it's not.
No.
So it's not at all. So I believe so
you're essentially agreeing with Nick Saban.
Yes, I'm essentially agreeing with Nick Saban, but I'm not agreeing.
Look at these guys.
I thought they had a verdict for us.
Look,
lower the sign.
They do have. This is the jury. Zoom out for us there. This is the. The jury has found Amber Heard liable for defamation in the.
They took off
in the
defecating
the defamation suit
case against Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
So Johnny Depp wins his trial. That is the crowd cheering for Johnny Depp.
I just want to know
in this case.
I want to know how much. It cost you to defecate and then defamate somebody at the same time.
Dang.
But what I will say
is get back to the Nick Saban.
To answer your question is, I believe in what Nick Saban is saying, but he chose to go a different route. See, Nick Saban, something happened in recruiting this year that took Nick Saban to this place. Something happened in the moment where he went into that living room and somebody told him at 17 years old, I don't care what you done, you old man. I don't care none about that. How much are you paying? And it's put him in that space. Because if he would have just came out and said this, listen, NIL is the wild, wild west. I think the NCAA needs to do a better job of regulating it. Hell, the NCAA right now has gone to Congress. And they've gone to, the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has basically told them, we got like serious pressing matters right now. We don't need to deal with your NIL. So if he would have just came out and talked about the NIL and say it's the wild, wild west, and we got to enforce some things because I don't believe everybody's living up to the same standards, that would have been enough said, and then he could have went on about his summer. But he chose to go after people individually. He chose to go after institutions.
That was wrong.
And he chose to go after an institution. But that's why Nick Saban did it, is because, when you work that hard in your life and you create that much greatness in your life and somebody looks at your body of work and can be that dismissive, it pisses you the hell off too.
Hey, while we're talking about college football, I do want to ask you to comment on the top 10 most improved college football teams this season. There is a hot team on this list that I'm going to mention, and they're in the SEC. This is a team I'm very high on.
I know who it is too, I bet.
Okay, you can guess next, but first a message from my bookie.
All right, I hope you had the over last night, and on my bookie, the over in the Oilers-Avalanche series tonight. I think you could bet the under. The Rangers and the Lightning, two great goaltenders. But if you go to mybookie.ag, mybookie.com, use the promo code Woodward. That's right. They'll double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000 tomorrow. The NBA Finals starts in Golden State. It's the Celtics and Warriors. Game one. Who's going to win that one? I love the Warriors. We'll see. You got to love them, too. Bet Woodward, of course. Use the promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with my bookie. If you have a gambling problem, please call the Michigan Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
All right, gang. Big Game Boomer, one of our favorite follows here, one of Tom Mazawey's favorite followers. He loves it. Put out the top 10 most improved college football teams. There is a team not on this list, I should say, that belongs on this list. And right now he's got SC for USC, Southern California. I don't know why. I'm tongue-tied there. Miami, Texas, South Carolina, Arizona, the Wildcats. How about that? Boston College. They've got that quarterback there, the transfer from Notre Dame. Forgot how to say the kid's name, but he's a big-time quarterback there. Colorado State, Kansas, Purdue, and Louisville. One team that is not on this list, and I think SC is really... who's going to beat SC this year? They got Caleb Williams, two $20 million wide receivers on each side, like the Chargers, and then they go from there.
Maybe SC should play the Chargers.
Right, exactly. But the team not on this list, to me, I'm telling you, look out for them. The Tennessee Volunteers.
Neyland Stadium.
And you said it, Braylon. Yeah. You did say off the air that you were going to guess, and you did guess Tennessee.
Yeah, one thing what's happened down there in Tennessee is Tennessee has legitimately kept stacking talent and talent. Tennessee has had a lot of talent over the years. Like Tennessee, even though they've disappeared in terms of the rankings, in terms of the BCS, and then disappearing in terms of the playoff system, they didn't disappear in terms of talent. They've still had immense talent on the defensive side of the ball, especially. But they've still had great players come out, still had really good players. Now, because, we look at the money. The money is the big thing now. Like, the money is the thing that matters. When you look at the teams that have the most money in the country and in football, guess who's number 3?
Tennessee.
It's Tennessee.
And the great thing about Tennessee, and we've mentioned this kid's name before, Hendon Hooker. He's a senior this year. Last year threw for and he's a running quarterback too, but threw for nearly 3,000 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Yeah. That's going to win you a lot of football games.
Especially in college.
Their style of play, I love. They're a fun team to watch. Look out for the Tennessee Volunteers this year. It's just kind of a sleeper team. Are they going to win the SEC? Probably not. But in terms of fun college football teams to watch, look for Tennessee.
I love that checkerboard end zone.
Oh, 100%. I love the checkerboard. And Rocky Top, you can't forget Rocky Top.
Where are you guys on SC this year? I mean,
are
they college football playoff?
I'm betting them.
I'm going...
Plus 1,800?
To win then what?
I got
to win it all.
I got SEC and Alabama national championship.
Really?
I got SEC and Alabama national championship because one thing about Nick Saban, he knows how to respond. So I think it's going to be SEC but anyway, going back to Neyland Stadium in Tennessee, is they've had so much money over the years, but now you can exploit that money. Now you can use that oil money. Tennessee has oil reserves as well, so now you can use that oil money. Now you can buy players. Tennessee they've still kept up the standard of being Tennessee. Like, I don't know how they spend the money in the right places. Now they can spend money on players, and I think you're going to see Tennessee do well. And also, this year, if you want to really look at it, SEC is kind of open. Because now with people getting in on NIL and spending money, you look at the Texas A&Ms of the world, Alabamas and LSUs, they're spending this money. Now players are starting to break up and go to different schools, and they're starting to even out. Like, we didn't even, that board, it didn't even show you LSU. Shouldn't LSU have been on that board to get Brian Kelly? To come there. They didn't have a good season last year or the year before that. Brian Kelly, they should have been on that list. They weren't. I think you got LSU sitting out there. You got Arkansas sitting out there. You have Tennessee sitting out there. You have Florida sitting out there. And then, of course, you got Texas A&M, Georgia, and Alabama. I think the SEC has some breakup. But don't forget, Kentucky was very competitive last year. SEC is wide open if your name outside of Alabama.
I just an update to this. I'm not the biggest legal eagle in the world.
What does liable mean?
But the jury has found Johnny Depp also liable for defamation in the countersuit.
Oh boy!
So I'm a little unclear what
Just
this
break
means.
it even and leave
now,
the TV.
Well, that's the thing. So apparently, the jury
what the hell does that
has
mean?
awarded Johnny Depp $15 million from Amber Heard, but we don't know what the jury has awarded.
Guess what? 15.
I wouldn't doubt that to be the case.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this.
This has been one of the most.
They've already screwed Johnny Depp over by finding them both liable. If Johnny Depp walks out of this courtroom with $0 or even, this is a sham. They should at least, if they're gonna do $15 million for Johnny, they got at least. I mean, what they do? $15 million for Amber. They got at least do $5 million for Johnny, so he still makes 10. This is nuts.
I don't understand.
You told
what
me
that
not
really
to be surprised,
means.
though.
That's right. So again, yeah. So there you go, Maz. Maybe you can do a deep dive on that as the jury finds Amber
I'm hitting
Heard.
up Dan Lust as we speak.
Everybody's hugging right now. What are you hugging about?
That it's over. They all got paid.
Majorly.
All the lawyers got paid. Where do you see Michigan State in terms of improved teams? I mean, yeah, sure, they were in a New Year's Six bowl.
Yeah.
But that's not where they want to be. That's not where they want to end up. They want to be in the Big Ten championship game. They want to be in the college football playoff.
I've said this for about the last 2 months now. Maybe not give myself that much credit. I've talked about it for the last month. Those teams that are very quiet in the offseason, those are dangerous teams. Baltimore Ravens are very quiet right now. They're a dangerous team. Michigan State and NCAA in the Big Ten, they're one of those teams. They've been very quiet in terms of publicly, but they've been making moves. Like, one thing that Mel Tucker has done well is the transfer portal, and he's done that again this year. Wisconsin, he's got a guy from Wisconsin, LSU, Auburn. He's got guys from those schools. He does a good job of that, and also now the NIL. You saw what happened last year with Mel Tucker's contract. You saw that with Matt Ishbia and a couple other individuals that were alums that raised that type of capital to pay that $10 million a year. That means they know what they're doing in the NIL too. They've already started that. I think Michigan State is going to be right at the forefront. They're going to be really good this year, man. They're going to be a tough team.
Maz, where are you on the Spartans in terms of being an improved team this year? And again,
I don't know about improved. They lost a couple.
But they could be improved to what Ryan has said, because they beat Michigan. Yeah, they won 11 games.
They lost K9.
And but they still have Peyton Thorne.
And again, part of paying you, and we know this as Michigan fans, when you pay your coach $9 million a year, there's a certain expectation that comes with that.
He'll have them back.
And losing a couple of games and making a New Year's Six bowl, that shouldn't cut it. For me, it doesn't cut it for Jim Harbaugh to go backwards either now, right? I mean, Jim Harbaugh, we've seen Michigan reach the mountaintop of the conference. Now, going backwards is not an option for me. That's a failed season.
But Michigan, Ohio State.
But just recently, though, Jim Harbaugh was making $9 million since 2016.
Exactly.
Undeservingly so. So now they've made the mountaintop. Like 6 years after, he was making $9 million in his first year.
But they have made that mountaintop, is what I'm saying.
Well, Michigan State had already made. Well, I guess never mind. Different coach.
Different coach. For me, though, anything backwards on that is a failed season. I mean,
where Michigan State needs to improve at is the games after Michigan, the games after big game. Like, where they got to get at, and I know I talked about this with the ring, and I'm not bringing up the ring again, so relax, Michigan State. But that's where they really have to get good at. After they beat Michigan, they typically lose that next game, no matter who's it playing against. They need to go into every game, as every game is a chance for us to get to the college playoff. Every game, is a chance for us to no longer be in Michigan, whatever. Like, every game is a chance for us to be that team, to get better, go 10 games, 11 games, 12 games, playoff. Because you can't beat Michigan and then lose to Purdue. And then also, with that being said, it will help you against Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Like, just like you look at Michigan and Ohio State, Michigan State has only beat Ohio State once in the last 20 years as well. Like, you got to go into the Ohio State game. It can't be like, oh, well, this is, whatever happens, we beat this team, and we can get to 11-6. Their improvement, they got to beat Ohio State and Michigan in the same year.
They can't get blown out by Ohio State like they did last year. It was a laugher. You know what? But Michigan is better. I think they'll play with Michigan. They beat them last year, but they're already, a 9-point underdog in Ann Arbor this time. Minnesota is better. I'm not sure if Minnesota's on their schedule or not. The Big Ten is improving a little bit. So I'd say if they lose 2 games, is that backwards to you?
Yes.
Not to me. Not to me.
Yeah.
I don't think it is going backwards.
Short of getting to where they were last year, I do believe it's a bad season. I mean, that's my expectation for Michigan, again, is to win the Big Ten championship every year.
But you're not talking
That's where I start.
But you're not talking about Michigan. You're talking about Michigan State.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about paying a coach $10 million, and then you're talking about – I'll give you an example. Let's say for the next 5 years, Mel Tucker and Michigan State go 11-3 every year.
Do they win the Big Ten?
Maybe 1 or 2 times.
Well, let's say this.
If you win 11-3 5 years in a row, I'm pretty sure you're going to win the Big Ten twice.
What if Mel Tucker and Michigan State do not win the Big Ten championship in the next 3 seasons, which means he has not won a Big Ten championship in his first 4 seasons?
But how many games are they winning?
I'm asking you. Forget they could win 10. They could go 10-3 and win the Big Ten championship.
Only reason I say it
doesn't matter.
If you say it doesn't, it doesn't. Like if you say all right, you say next 4 years.
Yeah.
So well, he's got paid, so he's under that contract for 1 year. So technically, this would be the first year that he's under.
Yeah. So it would be 3 seasons of $9 million.
All right.
But forget about the contract. I think the expectation for the Spartans is to win a Big Ten championship. And if he goes, I'm just throwing a timeline out there. Like,
but that can't
hypothetical. I hate hypotheticals. I know, but
yeah, I guess it can be the expectation. I was gonna say it can't be the expectation when you won 3 Big Ten titles in 30 years.
But totally different. Different group now.
So with that being said, he's in the next 3 years he's got to win 1 Big Ten championship at least.
I think so too.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think so too. Or the shine comes off.
Yeah, he's got
right. I mean, the shine comes off a little bit. Guys, we're gonna have some fun. If you had a ticket, what?
Greg and Dan Lust is coming up.
Look at that. We've got him for you next.
He's gonna tell us about Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, and Deshaun Watson.
How about that? We've got our legal eagle, the attorney to the stars. We'll have that for you next. Ermanni Edwards. But first, a message from SMA.
The sports marketing agency helps spread awareness about mental health. Right now, we live in a pandemic in terms of mental health. Looking at kids. Kids are going to high school. Kids are feeling bullied. And then adults as well. Adults are individuals that struggle for mental health and don't teach their children about it. So that's what the sports marketing agency is here to do. Go to thesportsma.com. It's okay to not be okay. They also talk about addiction. We also talk about fentanyl. And also, SMA and Woodward Sports Network now have a podcast called The F Word. And the F word being fentanyl. So go to thesportsma.com and find out about how you can be helped with mental health and also addiction awareness.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
When you need apparel, there is one place to go, Big Frog Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has the styles you want. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG. That is 844-4-BIG-FROG. bigfrog.com/Novi.
Well done there, Mr. Sam Flannel. Nice choice of the flannel today as well. Ermanni and Edwards, Woodward Sports Network. It is thanks so much to Dan Lust for hopping on with us. Sports attorney to the stars at Sports Law Lust, ESPN, CBS, Fox Sports. You hear him all over the place. Of course, the law professor at New York Law School. Are you kidding me? And we got him here. Dan, thanks so much for the time. How are you, bud?
Hey, Dan.
I'm good. This is a big day in I guess courtroom drama over here.
I'm telling Dan, just kind of break down for us what happened. I mean, we're on the air and we're trying to get so Johnny Depp was awarded $15 million and Amber Heard awarded $2 million. What in the world happens there?
Johnny Depp won by 13.
Yeah. So I'll break it down. It looks like at least the verdict that's out is. I guess both sides win to some extent. Johnny Depp awarded a total of $15 million. $10 in compensatory damages. Compensatory is meant to kind of give you what you lost in terms of maybe his Hollywood value, his movies he lost out on. And then he's also awarded $5 million in punitive damages, which is meant to really punish the other side. It's not based on opportunities you lost out on. So that's $15 million total. Amber Heard, on the other hand, is awarded $2 million, and that's in total compensatory damages. So that stands for money that she lost as a result of the actions that occurred here. Zero awarded in terms of punitive damage to punish Johnny Depp in some way, shape, or form. So if you wanted to say it's a net of $13 million to Johnny Depp, I think that's a fair reading of it.
Maybe I don't understand the term compensatory all the way correctly, because I've looked at the movies that he's lost out on. He lost $100 million just alone in the Pirates of the Caribbean new reboot. So they may need to go back in that deliberation room and come back with about $115 million for Johnny, or $113 million for Johnny Depp.
Yeah, if people were following this closely, people, I guess whatever circles you want to believe, that Johnny Depp had problems independent of Amber Heard, that maybe that contributed a little bit to his at least financial downfall. But, these jury deliberations are meant to be secret. We'll see if any of these jurors end up speaking out or do one of those fancy book deals, which, have happened in the past. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Johnny Depp has certainly claimed, I think his claim was for $50 million total. So, they're giving him, in theory, pennies on the dollar, but it's still a win overall. Let's not forget, right? The standard for defamation for a public figure is actual malice. So you have to show that the other side intentionally lied, and that's what was the jury believed was established here, that Amber Heard, lied, that made a statement that she knew was false, yet said it anyway. So that's the standard for actual malice. So jury felt that was made out both ways with respect to Depp's side and also Amber Heard's side.
It's a really important point, Dan. We're talking to Dan Lust at Sports Law Lust on Twitter. Is there a bigger picture look at this trial and what it means moving forward in cases like this, Dan? Or do you just take this isolated case as one of the most bizarre cases you've ever seen?
The big takeaway, I think, when we were talking amongst lawyers, right? Johnny Depp, I guess everyone assumed he was going to win this, but it's very hard to show that someone affirmatively lied, right? That's what actual malice means. So, if you had to, you guys know I'm a betting man. I think the public thought that Johnny Depp was like a, minus 500 favorite to win his claim. But I think it was much closer to, truthfully, I think it was closer to minus 150, minus 120 is by no means a surefire. So, I think you read social media, you couldn't find any positive comments about what Amber Heard's lawyers were doing. But, I watched the closing. I thought Amber Heard's lawyers were pretty good in the closing. People can, I think, rightfully make fun of the lawyers for objecting to their own questions. And, so I read all the conspiracy theories about Amber Heard's lawyers and whatnot. So, they took their shots, but I think they did a good job in closing. So, the big picture takeaway, I think, you can read a little bit of this Twitter drama, but at the end of the day, you just got to sometimes take this out of the social media world and just listen to the lawyers here. I thought Amber Heard, she put on a full case. She paid her lawyers, I think, $6 million. These lawyers come with very high credentials, and they end up walking away with $2 million. I think people will probably surprised that Amber Heard got anything here.
Hey, Dan, what do you think this happens to each of them going forward as far as their careers?
I think a lot of people heard of Amber Heard from this trial, right?
Yeah.
That didn't necessarily put two and two together that she was an Aquaman. I'll put myself certainly in that category.
Yep.
But I think, you'd hate to see this, but there's certainly a world where neither of them, are A, B, C level movies, and maybe they're just too toxic. So, you'd hope that both sides can walk away from this and learn something. But this trial brought up really the ugly allegations with respect to both of them. So, we'll see what comes of it. Honestly, Johnny Depp has been an A-level actor for years. I think people would be very surprised if he got back to that level, but stranger things have happened, and we know Hollywood, guys. Hollywood loves a comeback story, so we shall see there.
Hey, Dan, I want to ask you about Deshaun Watson. A 23rd person has come out. A 24th female has claimed she is a victim of Deshaun Watson. I feel like at 19, 20, 21, 22, he was going to get off, but something about 23 and 24 feels different.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's people will say what they want to say about the lawyer for the accusers. He's basically created another news story with the same type of allegations, right? And now they're saying based on her viewing of the HBO specials, she decided to come out. So now that's directing people to look at the HBO special. So I'm not sure if the guy is going to win in the court of law, but he certainly, I think, been winning in the battle of public opinion. I was mentioning to you guys about reading the Twitter comments about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. If you read Twitter, it looks like Deshaun Watson's been guilty, right? He's been found culpable, liable, whatever you want to say. I think the word is out that Roger Goodell is trying to get a suspension or make a decision on a suspension before the season starts, be it June, July, August, and these stories don't help. And I will say, I think I mentioned to you guys last time, the trial in this case will not occur until after the Super Bowl in 2023. Right. So we could have a Ray Rice situation on our hands where the NFL issues some type of suspension, and then more allegations, come out after the suspension is issued. So it could make the NFL look messy. So I think you're right. Maybe the worst is yet to come for Watson, right? If there's a trial in this, can you imagine the media attention that this would get in the sports world, just like we saw with Depp and Amber Heard? So I think there's a world where the NFL looks maybe like they were too lenient on Watson, because there will be more that comes out after the suspension is issued.
Hey, another trial that's going to pick up steam is John Gruden against the NFL. Last week, the jury said, all right, we're going to hear John Gruden's testimony. The NFL wanted it thrown out. And there's ways, if this goes far, Dan, there's a way, at least I've read it, that Roger Goodell could be out on his keister.
We'll see. I mean, Roger Goodell's Teflon at this point. He's basically like a professional punching bag. I don't see Roger Goodell going anywhere. The guy is certainly paid to be a punching bag, and we'll see. I mean, he's got the Snyder situation he's dealing with. We have news on that front. He's got the Stan Kroenke situation, that fight amongst the owners for that $230 million. So, I think Goodell has done a good job managing the storm. We'll see what happens with Watson, but. Say what you want about Roger Goodell. The NFL is the healthiest it has ever been in terms from a financial perspective, from a television perspective. So I don't, people can say what they want about Goodell, but I don't think the man is going anywhere anytime soon.
The great Dan Luss, sports attorney to the stars, kind enough to join us at a moment's notice. Thanks so much, Dan. We certainly appreciate it. Follow Dan on Twitter at SportsLawLust. Appreciate you, bud.
Thanks, Dan.
My pleasure.
See you, bud.
You got it. We're going to take a break, come right back with Maz's videos of the day. But first, a message from the Foaling Warehouse.
In Hamtramck, Chris Hutt, the inventor of this great game, football and bowling. Put together two ways to play, $12 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation. 2 hours, $120. You can put 10 or 12 people on that. You can bring your own food in, even have it delivered. Plenty to drink in the bar. That's right. Over 100 beers served. The $2 mystery beer machine and any drink that they could possibly make for you. Check it out. Get your foal on at foldingwarehouse.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron. Here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh, wait. It's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
Right now, if you are a teenager between the ages of 14 and 19, you can sign up for your free summertime pass at Planet Fitness. That goes on from now until August 31st. A free Planet Fitness membership if you are a teenager between the ages of 14 and 19. If you are older or anyone else, right now for just $0 down, $0 and $10 a month.
Only $10?
Only $10. That is a crazy good deal. You can get your Planet Fitness membership. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness nearby. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Your fitness is essential.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network on a
rainy Wednesday. It's a rainy
got a little bit of rain today. I need a little bit of water on my lawn already.
It's good to get some rain in there. You mix some rain with that heat, man. You get some beautiful, beautiful grass and landscape.
Planted some landscaping over the weekend, too. And I'll tell you, my irrigation system is not getting what we planted. Heaven forbid, get somebody out.
Never been a landscaping guy, man.
Me neither, man. I try to pay for it as much as I can.
I think I've cut grass 2 times in my life, man. Like, ever.
That's what's
Good
up.
for you.
2 times.
Guys,
both times.
I want to give it the proper. We teased it all day. I want to give it the proper. I want to give it the proper segment. So tomorrow we're going to do. If you had a free ticket anywhere in the country to a sporting event, what would it be? We're going to do that tomorrow.
I like that.
So today it is the time of the day
we like to call
Maz's videos of the day.
And now it's time for Maz's Videos of the Day, only on the Woodward Sports Network.
And we go to Braylon's favorite quarterback, Brad Johnson. Big Bad Brad at it again on Instagram.
That's my guy, man.
Gotta love this guy. What a trickster.
He's just fun.
No sound.
Spinning the ball.
What do you mean no sound?
Okay.
Oh, I don't know about that, Brad. Oh, let's see what he can do. Oh, there you go. Oh, come on now.
No, watch this. Same time.
Oh,
bang,
Brad.
bang.
Oh, bang, bang.
Brad.
Yeah.
Throws a basketball
bang, bang.
full court and a football full
and then
court.
He has the what is it?
Sinks
Sports
them both.
armor. That's what it's called. He's got the sports armor drink. They're paying some money.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good for him. He's pretty funny, man.
He's great. Like, I just love. He's got the gut. He's got the basketball court. He has
Scott
a nice
Mitchell
house.
gut now.
He's just so comfortable, like where he
the
is
way-
in life. It's good to see
He's still
people
wearing
like
his
that.
jersey. I like that.
I love that too.
Me too.
Because it's
He won a Super Bowl.
for some reason when you see it on Brad Johnson wearing his jersey, like you don't think anything of it. You like it. But let Odell have been wearing his jersey, people would have been like, oh, he wearing his jersey. You think too much of himself. I feel like when people get to that point where they're retired, you give them that respect and that love.
Amen. Hey, remember Dominic Raiola when he was here?
I do.
Love Dom.
Well, he's got a son. His name is
Mr. Personal Foul.
His name is Dylan Raiola. Dylan.
Yeah.
And he is a highly recruited quarterback.
Very high.
Or I think he plays baseball as well. Well, it turns out he's a commit to Ohio State.
Yeah. Last week or 2 weeks ago, I think he committed.
Shocking. Seems like Ohio State.
Check this little throw out of 72 yards.
Do you know who his high school coach is?
Who?
John Kitna.
Oh, wow. Look at this. 72 yards in the air.
Wow.
And he's also 6'5", 240.
You believe that?
Wow. Yeah, they moved out to Arizona so that John Kitna could be his high school coach. Can you believe that?
I guess Kitna and Raiola got along pretty well back in the day.
Guess so.
They didn't win a lot of games, though, but they did get along well.
Teammates.
I like Kitna.
I like Kitna, too.
He had what 4,990 one year, and he had like 4,500 another year. He was throwing the ball.
Yeah, he was.
Was he the quarterback on the 5-0 Jim Schwartz team?
I forget.
Maybe. No, that's when they kept splitting. 'Cause I think Culpepper was the Schwartz. We beat the.
I don't think Culpepper ever won 5 games.
No, but they rotate a bunch. He only played like 3 games.
Gotta look that
Because
up.
Orlovsky was the backup to Kitna.
Right. That's when he ran out of the end zone against the Vikings.
Kitna was
Never
good with
forget.
the Bengals, man. Like Kitna, I tell you like this: Kitna always had 4,000 yards or more. He
Very
with
good.
the Bengals.
He could haul it.
Yeah.
How about this catch at a Mets game last night by
Great.
Super Dad makes another catch.
Great.
Mets are blowing everything away, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Watch this off the bounce. Oh, we didn't see the bounce, but
Oh,
yeah.
Was it a bounce?
It was a bounce.
That's not
Let's
bad.
watch it again.
But it's pretty good, man. I mean, he's leaning over. If that kid, let me tell you, if that kid twists or jerks, he's out there on the center field wall.
I tell you like this: when you watch your wife or girlfriend have a baby, you ain't letting that baby go.
No.
You ain't dropping that baby.
No. Doesn't happen.
Here's a story now. I'm going to go to the Kansas City Royals now. There's a kid by the name of Jose Cuellas Kid's from Brooklyn.
I thought you said Jose Cuervo.
Nope, he was a hitter.
Okay.
Played ball.
Tequila hits hard.
Kind of lost his way and left the game. He just couldn't do it anymore. He goes back home to Brooklyn, becomes a FedEx driver. His brother is a college baseball player. I'm going to take you to this. Last night, Jose Cuellar makes his major league debut with the Royals as a pitcher. He reinvents himself. Check this out.
For Jose Cuellar, and this might be the best story we have heard in years. So he converts to pitching in 2017, gets released in 2018, goes back home to Brooklyn. His younger brother was a college pitcher. Jose takes a job working at FedEx. 6 a.m. in the morning, he's up to work at FedEx, working till 8 p.m. most nights in Brooklyn. He would get home and his younger brother would say, "You're not giving up on your dream." They would go to a park in Brooklyn.
Ooh.
And he would throw to his brother every single night, sometimes 20, 30 degrees under the one light that they had.
94. That's not reinventing yourself at 94. That's what you should have been doing.
Making his big league debut as a pitcher.
He had 1 inning, 1 strikeout, no hits, no runs last night.
Wow.
He's back in baseball.
I'm a big fan of Jose Cuellar.
Jose Cuellar. I said Cuellar.
Fine. We'll all know his name.
That's a great story.
And finally, I think this barbecue might have been. Was this barbecue at your house, Braylon?
What barbecue?
You'll see.
He's
pissed. He's pissed.
But look, we got to see it again.
The guy he's pissed.
Look at the guy in the white shirt.
Yes.
He barely moves.
He's
barely
cooking.
moves.
He's cooking.
He's trying to protect the food.
He's
Watch.
cooking.
He's like, damn.
Oh my! Is that something?
So first of all, this is not my backyard because that grass has got too many blind spots. We'll have no blind spots.
That wasn't Stan cooking?
No, hell no.
All right.
Our grass is as green as Washington Emerald State.
Blonde spots. I call them dead spots.
Same.
Blonde spots. I like that.
It's funny because you can see how important being the chef is. How the food. Like he tried to the last second to make sure she won't hit that food, and at the last second, you do have to protect your life.
I think he saved the food because I don't think the food fell out of that barbecue.
It felt like it didn't open.
Yeah, it didn't open.
The problem is going to be picking it up because you know how hot that thing is.
Ooh-wee.
Picking it up is going to be the problem.
That's all I got.
Leave
for
it
you,
on the
boys.
ground. Great job, guys. Great job today. Great job, everybody. I'll tell you, having a lot of fun here. Woodward Sports Network. Braylon, get us out of here.
I will, man. Great time. Wednesday, Flannel Sam, as well as my man Fletch. You guys always do a good time. Hey, check this out. Pay attention. Like Ryan Ermanni told you, if you could have a sporting ticket to any event throughout the course of the season, what would that event be? And in terms of the year is what I meant, not the season, the whole year. Think about that. Come back to us tomorrow. We'll talk about it here on the bottom line.
I have one, and it's just
tomorrow.
I can't wait.
Don't preview it.
It's
tomorrow. Because the one I was going to buy would be the. That's it for us here at the bottom line.
I got more than one.
Yeah, I know.